Hey there, amazing listeners. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Transform Yourself, the podcast that is all about empowering you to shed those stubborn pounds and embrace your best self. We are your hosts, Kacy and Tyler. We have lost a collective 130 pounds. You know me as the Calorie Deficit Queen. We use the 4 M's of fitness, mind shift, meal shift, micro habits, and muscle building to create attainable and sustainable fat loss. So if you're a fitness enthusiast, a beginner, maybe curious about making positive changes, Transform Yourself is your go-to source for inspiration, information, and a good dose of motivation. And today's episode, we are talking about why your weekends are wrecking your results. And I am not going to just say eat less, move more, people. I am going to dive into some real stuff. The wine, the weekends away.
This has got to be the number one issue your clients have.
The kids' tournaments. Oh, so big.
Well, every party, every event.
Yeah. Oh, my life is, yes. Oh, I've got this wedding coming up. And oh, I've got this going. Listen, life's not going to slow down. I've got, but the holiday and then my birthday and then.
There's going to be another holiday. There's going to be more birthdays.
Hopefully, if you're lucky, you're going to have a lot more birthdays.
Yeah, if you don't get this, if you don't get your health in line, like you might not, but
yeah. So listen, that screw it energy that hits around 6 p.m. on Friday and doesn't let up until Sunday night. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. So if you're somebody who says I'm on track all week, but the weekends, that's not so much. That this podcast, this one's for you. So grab your water, iced coffee, whatever it is. We're going to talk about how to stop undoing 5 days of progress in 48 hours.
It's so easy.
Without skipping the fun. You can still have fun on the weekends. So let me start by painting a picture. Monday through Friday, or maybe Thursday for some of y'all, you are in it. You are hitting your steps. You are meal prepping. You are saying no to the snacks in the break room or the lounge. You are logging your food. You're measuring your food. You're even lifting weights. And then Friday night hits. And suddenly you're saying, well, it was a hard week. I deserve a treat. I've been so good. Just a little bit just one glass of wine won't hurt. And listen, I am not here to judge. That's not what I'm here to do. I lived that life. I lost 70 pounds. I've kept it off, but I did not do it by pretending that weekends did not exist. I had to learn how to treat myself without tricking myself. I had to learn how to not start over every single Monday. So we're going to break down what is actually happening and the reason you are sabotaging all of your goals during the weekend. So we're going to start by ripping off a Band-Aid. Here we go. Alcohol is stalling a lot of your fat loss.
I don't think you could say that enough.
Right.
Because the wine industry in particular has done such a good job convincing generations of women and men, for that matter,
that it's good for you.
That it's good for you. Like, the polyphenols, good for your heart. It's like, man, well, you really, people quote that stuff chapter and verse, but I guarantee if we spent 5 minutes Googling, who do you think paid for that study?
Right.
Who do you think it was the Wine Growing Association of Southern California or something along those lines? Of course it was. It's like every study like that.
Yep. So here's what happens. You have a glass of wine. Great, fine. But then you have another. Okay. And then the chips and queso sound good. And then your inhibitions drop. And then you have more chips and queso. And then you say, I'll start again Monday. And the next thing you know, you've consumed an extra 2,000 calories that weekend. You slowed down your metabolism. You disrupted your sleep. You've increased your cravings.
Stayed up too late. Yep. Slept in.
Absolutely.
If you had planned on getting up in the morning and doing something,
you didn't do it.
You're probably not going to do it.
Right. So here's here's the real talk. I'm not saying you have to give up alcohol like we did to lose weight. Yes, we did give up alcohol. You don't have to do that. I have women who have not given up alcohol and are seeing progress. Have they scaled back? Yes, they have. They have absolutely scaled back their alcoholic intake because we did a little shining a spotlight on it.
Yeah.
And man, it's interesting when you really look at the data and look at how much alcohol you might be drinking. You need to you need to get honest about how often that alcohol is derailing your progress. So practical tips, if you are going to drink alcohol, listen, set a drink cap before you go to said event, right? Like set a cap of, I'm going to have 2 drinks max tonight. That's it. I had a client recently. She's been a client of mine for almost a year. Love her. She's so fantastic. Kelly, I'll name her. Kelly just went to a all-inclusive resort. I think it was in Mexico. And I mean, y'all, all-inclusives, right?
Basically
unlimited drinks, unlimited food, unlimited, right? She set a drink cap for the day. She prioritized protein. She got in movement. She came back from her 7-day vacation at an all-inclusive and didn't gain a single pound. I am so proud of her.
Yeah.
I am so thrilled. And she feels like a new person, and she proved to herself that she can do those kind of things. She can still have fun. She can still have drinks, but she can do that within reason. Another tip, alternate water between drinks. Hydrate yourself. It'll also slow you down.
Yeah.
If you really want to look at the data, pre-log your alcohol. Do it. Put it in a tracker. See what you get, because it might be surprising. And try to avoid drinking on an empty stomach. Try to eat some protein and fiber first. I once told a client, you didn't blow your fat loss goal because of the margarita. You blew it because you had 6 tacos, chips, queso, a cookie, and the pancake for brunch the next day.
Yeah.
That's what blew it. It wasn't the one margarita. It was all the things.
It's the margaritas opening the door to a bunch of other. It's lowering your inhibitions, opening the door for a bunch of other bad decisions.
So,
and that's not even taking into account like the negative impact on your sleep that has, and metabolism issues and all the other tertiary effects.
So yeah, alcohol can completely stall your fat loss if you are letting that be one of the reasons, that your fat loss is being stalled. Because listen, weekends make you want to get out the margaritas. Another reason, maybe you're just having the, it's the weekend, I'm free mentality. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's your mentality. Maybe it's how you feel about the weekends. Maybe it's your thoughts about the weekends. And this one's sneaky. You may not even realize you're having the thoughts that you're having. It's kind of like that loosen the belt, treat yourself, screw it. It's Friday night. I'll track again Monday energy, right? And you are not weak. You are human. I get that. We've got to stop acting like the laws of fat loss pause between Friday night and Sunday afternoon. They do not. Let me give you an example. So let's say you are on track and you put yourself in a calorie deficit of 400 calories from maintenance, right? And you eat 400 calories less than maintenance Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So that adds up to 1,600 calories Monday through Thursday that you are in a deficit, right?
That's a half a pound. Well, a little bit less than half a pound.
Yeah. But then Friday night, you go over by 600 calories. Saturday, you go 700 over. Sunday, brunch, snacks, 500 over. Just by doing that added up to 1,800 calories. So now you've erased your entire deficit for the week. That's it. And you wonder why the scale is not moving, but you are undoing your progress on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Mm-hmm. And I know what some of you are thinking. You're like, no way. I know I'm staying on track on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm not going over by 600 calories a day, Kacy. Let me give you an example of what 600 calories might look like, because maybe you don't know. Maybe you go to a girls' night and you decide, I'm going to have one margarita, just one. Okay, well, great. I'm going to have I'm not going to eat all the chips. I'm just going to eat a handful of chips. That's it. Just a handful. I'm going to have 2 tablespoons of queso. That's it. 2 tablespoons. And I'm going to have 2 chicken wings off somebody's plate. I was mindful, Kacy. Well, that one margarita is 250 calories. A handful of chips, 140 calories. 2 tablespoons of queso, 100 calories. 2 small chicken wings, 110 calories. That added up to 600 calories. I did the math.
That's not even that much food.
And you maybe thought, but I barely ate anything. I just had one drink and I had just a handful of chips. I had 2 tablespoons of queso, Kacy. Yeah.
Yeah.
All of that added up to 600 calories. Yeah. Let me give you another example. Maybe it's been a long day. You're like, I'm just going to have 1 glass of wine. Just one. That's 125 calories. 2 small handfuls of trail mix, 200 calories. Maybe you have a protein bar while you're cooking dinner, because you're trying to get in more protein, but you don't want to eat too much for the dinner. You're going to eat a protein bar before dinner. Maybe you won't be as hungry. That's 180 calories. And then just a bite of dessert off somebody else's plate. That's 95 calories. All of that, the glass of wine, 2 handfuls of trail mix, protein bar, and the bite of dessert, 600 calories.
Yeah.
Boom. And you never even felt like you overate.
Yeah. And
It's really easy to eat an excess of 600 calories. Really easy.
And this is a pretty reasonable. This is, you're being very reasonable, but actually I think unrealistic, because who's eating 2 tablespoons of queso?
No one. Not me.
So
if I go eat queso, it's going to be a lot more than 2 tablespoons.
You're in this example, you're being very charitable.
Yes.
And it's still crazy. It doesn't have to be all that. You can be like, hey, we're going out to a movie on Friday night. Let's stop at Starbucks and we get something so I can, because I'm already it's kind of late.
1 Starbucks and 2 handfuls of popcorn, easily you can be 600 calories.
1 Starbucks. I guarantee we could go on Starbucks website and build a drink that's reasonable that someone would order, like a caramel macchiato with whatever.
Extra whip.
I guarantee you can get a drink that's 500 or 600 calories that you would never, you just don't think about it. That is just empty calories.
For sure. So what can we do? You've got to make a plan. You need to make a plan for meals and how you will stay on track, right? Have maybe on your weekends, you plan for one fun meal, but not a full free for all day. I didn't say all day Saturday free for all. I said one fun meal, but eat your protein first. Let's stop using the word cheat day. I cannot stand it when people use the word cheat day, or even why should we be? No, let's not cheat on ourselves. What we cheat on is X's and taxes. That's it. So let's not call it a cheat day. Let's not call it a cheat meal. Let's call it planned indulgence. Planned indulgence that fits in your day, doesn't open the floodgates into a spiral. A big problem with the weekends, and the reason that alcohol or the mentality comes in, is because the structure disappears, right? So on the weekends, there's no work schedule. There's no lunch break at a certain time. There's no alarm set, usually. And suddenly you're grazing all day, or maybe not. Maybe you're skipping meals and then you're overeating at night. You're forgetting that your goals even exist on the weekend. And listen, rest days, those are beautiful. Yes, you need rest days, but lack of structure, mindless eating, missed workouts, low step counts, zero accountability, those things are not going to work in your favor. Here's what you should try. you should create what I call a soft weekend routine. Here's what I mean. Sleep in, sure. Don't set an alarm, that's fine. But when you wake up, have a high protein breakfast. Plan for movement. It doesn't have to be going to the gym and getting a lift, but it can just be like going on a walk, dancing, playing a dance game with your kids. Yesterday, I had not gotten in a lot of steps. And so, and you left the house, Tyler.
I actually went on a walk.
Yeah, you went on a walk. And so I couldn't go on a walk because, you know, the kids are here and they're not going to walk at the pace I walk at. So I decided I got on YouTube and I looked up go Google walking workout. Fit with Rick is my favorite. I love that guy. He does like a walking workout. It's kind of like half dance, half walking. And it was cute because June wanted to do it with me. And we did a 15-minute Fit with Rick. And it was so much fun. So I got in extra steps that way, right there in my living room.
For free.
Free.
Zero barrier.
Right.
All you need is a TV with YouTube on it, which is...
Or a phone.
Every TV.
Pre-log your meals or plan anchor meals like your breakfast and dinner for the weekends. Here's the deal. You just have to be intentional with your weekend eating. Be proactive about it. Don't be reactive about it. We don't want to wing it. So what are some realistic solutions that you can start with this weekend, this very next weekend, right? Because it's a Monday when you're listening to this probably. Let's make this practical. Here's 5 things you can do this weekend to stay on track and not feel restricted. Number 1, pick one meal, just one, that you'll plan some kind of an indulgence and then track around that. Number 2, set a water goal and set benchmarks for that water goal. So don't just set a water goal, be intentional about it. Say, you know what? I'm going to drink 80 ounces of water. I'm going to get the first 20 ounces of water in before my coffee. Then I'm going to get the next 20 ounces of water in by noon. And then I have from noon till 5 p.m. to get the next 40 ounces in. Boom. I've gotten to 80 ounces by 5 p.m. Number 3, eat protein at every meal. Every meal. If you're a mom who is going to tournaments, I have a client who, super mom, Meg, and you know what? Liz does too. There's a couple of them. They go to their kids' sporting events.
A baseball team or something?
Yeah, sporting events, right? They've got kids. They're busy moms. They're super moms. They are bringing small little coolers with them to the events, packing it with protein snacks. Love it. Number 4, schedule your movement. Schedule a walk. If you want to, schedule a lift. Get in movement. Number 5, check in with the Form Fit Forum. If you have not joined my group coaching program, it's super affordable, people. It's $24.98 a month. And I give more than just a workout and a forum. There's so much in there. A full e-course. There's a bundle of recipes every month. There are challenges that I do. It's a lot of accountability inside the forum. And if you have people there holding you accountable, it sure is. It makes it way more fun. So you don't have to be perfect. You just need to be consistent enough so that the weekend does not erase your weekday progress. I've said this before, but the average month has 30 days. And if you're off track Saturday and Sunday only, that's 8 days of the month, right? So that makes you 74% consistent. And at that rate, you're probably going to feel a little bit frustrated with results if you're getting any results. Mm-hmm. And then if you are off track Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, then you are only consistent 60% of the time. And guess what? You're not going to see results if that's the truth.
I bet you there's a lot of people that are not consistent Thursday night through the weekend. I remember I was that guy.
Yeah. Let me explain what our weekends look like. What do our weekends look like now versus what they look like before? Because our before selves weekend,
Friday was
Thursday night, we would go make sure that we had enough tequila in the house that would last us through the weekend. That would be about a gallon of tequila. then we would for sure go out to eat. I mean,
it was 'cause we've had kids, so it was usually takeout. But I mean, same difference.
yeah.
And there is a little Mexican joint next to our house that's pretty good. But yeah, so you start out Thursday night, kind of pre-planning your indulgence, kind of getting excited about it. Then Friday is game on. So
Yeah.
it's Mexican food. It's pizza.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even. I'm trying to think. It wasn't even cooking like a steak or something that is like an indulgence, but it's also like there's a good factor to it because it's a lot of good protein,
Right.
as well. It's not it's not the same as eating chicken breast, clearly, but that'd be Friday night, and then Saturday you wake up late, hungover,
and then I'd get out a bottle of champagne, mix it with some OJ.
Yeah, you have a
Delicious.
have a mimosa.
Mimosas on Saturday.
And then well, the kids want donuts. Let's just go get. I'll just have a donut too.
Oh,
Who
yeah.
cares? And then, then whatever the rest of the day was, it was more garbage.
Yeah, until
more boozing for me.
Absolutely.
That was a big part of it.
Yeah, and there was no walking. There was no lifting.
It was walking to the fridge, lifting up another tall boy.
Right.
That's about it.
What do our weekends look like now? Here's the deal. We rarely
so different. Like this morning, get up and made oatmeal for a kid.
Yes.
And then you went and got your nails done, and then I just immediately just went into, instead of sitting in the house and looking at my phone, like, well, I can turn on I've got a TV in the garage, and that's where my gym is. So
he went and worked out.
Yeah, and so like I can kind of do both. I can kind of like watch brain rot between sets. That's kind of what I do, especially on Saturdays. Like, and I just take my time and was out there for like 2 hours while you were out, and or it's a long walk.
Gotta get my nails done, ladies. Y'all know.
Yeah.
So we rarely go out to eat. Listen, if we do, as a family, just the four of us going out to eat is a rarity. Do we get takeout? Sure. But when we do, it's Chick-fil-A or Chipotle.
Oh.
It's always Chick-fil-A or Chipotle, y'all.
And it's also fun.
And it's always the exact same order because I always get the market salad at Chick-fil-A. And then he brings it home and I put Bolthouse Ranch on it because it's way lower calorie than most of their dressings. I get the same order at Chipotle. I know what I'm eating. I know that it's high protein, low calorie. We know what's happening, right? Here's the deal. Sometimes we do go get lunch with the girls. But like, for example, yesterday, Tyler, you went to the burger joint with the girls yesterday. That is their favorite place. They love burgers.
Yes.
And here's the cool thing about how our relationship is. He said, do you want to go? And I said, no, I don't want to go. I am working on consistency goals at the moment for myself. And I know we're going on vacation soon. So I'm trying to scale back with eating out. And that's totally fine. No questions.
Yeah.
Just, okay.
I don't care. Go.
Yeah. Go without me. And it's
But-
fine. And I had my own like egg white meal, burrito here with a low-cal tortilla and everybody's
here's another
happy.
thing that we do sometimes, and we've done it at that restaurant, is we will get, and sometimes we'll split a kid's meal.
Yes,
because
we do.
Like if you look at the portion sizes in a lot of places, kids' meals, it is enough calories.
Absolutely.
For an adult.
We have absolutely done that at the burger joint. We go and
theirs is-
two adults split a kid's meal at the burger
'Cause
joint,
theirs
and it is plenty.
It is a full-size burger and a full-size order of fries. Like it is
and it's cheaper.
It's cheaper. It's such a better, like every time I go, like yesterday I was mad at myself. I got a burger bowl. I was like, oh, let me try that. Maybe it's more like a salad. It was an awful choice because it was like a mountain of lettuce, but it was all like covered in like mayonnaise or some kind of mayonnaise based sauce. And it was like, this was not a better option.
Yeah. One thing we do is we get in movement every weekend. We take turns going on walks. Or, I go to the gym sometimes. He goes and works out in the garage. We just lift and we move. If we do travel on the weekends, I take a cooler of food. And every single time. I just went to a ladies' weekend and I took a cooler with slaw, salad, packed meat, salmon, fruit. I mean, I took all of that. And there was a morning that I woke up and I had a salmon salad for breakfast because I knew that I was going to be out on floating a river. This is what we do in Texas for fun. We float rivers, all day. So I knew I wanted to fill myself with some, high volume, high protein breakfast. Did I indulge in some of the higher calorie dense foods that the girls had? Because, it's ladies' weekend. They're going to bring that kind of stuff. Sure, absolutely.
But you've mitigated a lot.
But I started with the food that I brought. Even if it's a day trip, y'all, even if it's a day, it's not a full day weekend thing. Like the other day I went to my parents' house and I literally was at my parents' house for about 3 hours. I took a cooler with me to my parents' house.
We've done that several times.
Right in the middle of the day and nobody's shocked when I show up with a cooler.
Can I also point out that
with food.
That's the way it used to always be?
What do you mean?
Well, I have heard, I remember distinctly my grandparents talking about taking my dad and uncles on road trips, and they would pack picnics and they would bring their own food on the road and stop and eat instead of going through. Of course, this was also, I get it. This is also a period of time when fast food was not prevalent like it is today.
Right.
But that serves you so much better. You can, even if it is not as good a food, because for whatever reason, you're at least in 100% control of it and you know exactly how much food you're getting.
Right. And on Sundays, most Sundays, there's very few Sundays that we don't meal prep. And almost every Sunday, Tyler is smoking chicken on his smoker. I'm at the grocery store or at Costco. I'm planning out the week, and I'm not doing it in a way that I'm in the kitchen all day long. That's not the case, y'all. I'm telling you, you do not have to be in the kitchen for hours on Sunday just to do meal prep. You can make it so much easier than that, y'all. In fact, August, I am starting another challenge. This one is going to be focused around meal prep. It's going to be called Recipe for Success, because I'm going to give you the recipe for success on how to meal prep the easy way. I'm going to do Zooms where I talk to everybody that comes to this challenge. I'm going to talk to you about all the groceries that I typically buy, food swaps that are really great if you're in a calorie deficit. So yeah, if you're interested in learning the work smarter, not harder way of meal prepping, Recipe for Success. You can check that out at thecaloriedeficitqueen.com under the coaching tab. Do I eat desserts on the weekend? Yes, but I also eat those on the weekdays.
It's the same one.
Yeah, right. Ice cream.
Every day.
I just make plans and I don't let the weekends become a free-for-all. And you also have the power to do that. So if weekends have been your weakness, it is okay. You are not alone, but it is time to take your power back. Don't let your weekend be your weekend. Fat loss after 40 is not about being perfect. It's about being consistent, and weekends count every single time. So plan for the fun. Track. Stop letting Saturdays sabotage your Sunday confidence. If this episode hit home, do me a favor. Share it with a friend. Leave us a review. If you're looking for fat loss resources, maybe you need to calculate your calorie deficit. Maybe you need to calculate your protein goal. You can do that for free at my website, thecaloriedeficitqueen.com, under Getting Started. If you're looking for low-calorie cookbooks, on my homepage at thecaloriedeficitqueen.com. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Transform Yourself. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a review, share your love, and until next time, keep shining, keep smiling, and keep transforming yourself.
Adieu.